NCTV45, The Train, anytime on your time.
This program was provided through funding from Cedars Restaurant in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. A special thanks to Cedars, featuring Middle Eastern, Italian, and American cuisine.
This program paid for by a grant from RNA Screen Printing, located at 1217 Moravia Street, Newcastle.
Today's program was furnished by a grant from the Beanery Depot and Deli, featuring coffee, made-to-order subs, and snacks. The Beanery Depot and Deli in Mahoningtown.
Welcome to NCTV45 Cedar Sports Corner, everybody. I'm Alex DeLaverson, and we have quite a few things to talk about, but I think the thing on everybody's mind is the Pittsburgh Steelers' ugly loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars in a not-so-inspiring performance by my producer's favorite quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. I guess the main thing I want to talk about is this issue that the media has portrayed of the Steelers locker room either being in turmoil or divided because of Antonio Brown's antics. First thing I'd like to say about that is that, of course there can be, feuds or, hard feelings towards certain individuals. Those are all part of the game. But at the end of the day, these are professionals. So people getting angry, freakouts, things like that happen. I'm not condoning Antonio Brown's actions last week against the Ravens. However, I don't believe that sole incident in and of itself is the reason why the Steelers
It's real simple. He's a millennium, and can millenniums learn to shut up and listen?
Well, that's probably a topic for another day and a debate for another show.
I hate to cut to the chase there, but you know what? When you're the young guy and you have a proven guy like Ben, sometimes you need to listen.
Well, I think the thing with Ben Roethlisberger is what's going on. I definitely am confused about a lot of the play calling that was going on during the Jaguars game. Especially the fact that I felt like the Steelers couldn't run as effectively or as much as they should have against the Jaguars' run defense that is ranked last in the NFL. And obviously Ben throwing 5 interceptions is alarming, but what to me is almost as alarming is the fact that he targeted Antonio Brown 19 times. 19 times. So is that because he wanted to shut Antonio Brown up? What's going on here? Is it a combination of things?
I got a real good comment, and we're going to have to get back to it right after this break. Funding for this program furnished by Big Paulie's Sports Bar, Long Avenue, Newcastle. This program furnished by the MAD Unit, Mobile Auto Detailing. See Michael Sad at themadunit.com. Funding provided by Main Street Clothiers and Tailors, Washington Street, Newcastle.
Welcome back to the Cedar Sports Corner, everybody, here on NCTV45. And where we left off, our producer had a very interesting comment he wanted to make. Angelo?
The other night, watching Tony Dungy, he commented on the Steelers' offense, and They've gone from throwing the ball down the field to a check down offense, forcing Ben into these short passes and taking away his deep threats. And keep in mind, the Steelers only have one loss, so it's not like the season is out the window. Two losses, but it's not like the season's out the window.
The season's not out the window at all.
You know, but the question has to be for the offensive coordinator, what's the reason for the change?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's the thing on so many Steeler fans' mind is what was with the play calling? I mean, Todd Haley has not been the most favorable person in Pittsburgh since he arrived in, 2012? And again, that kind of goes back to the whole thing I was saying. It's like the worst rush defense in the NFL. And they didn't make that a priority, or didn't seem to make it a priority, couldn't get it going. It was just very, very odd. But the thing I am really kind of interested in hearing about from you, Angelo, is I think the thing on everyone's mind. Is it finally time for Ben Roethlisberger to retire?
Oh, I think he's got maybe a season or two left in him. But under the guys, if you're not going to use him to do what he does best, then there's no point. Allow him to go to somebody else and finish out his year and be successful. Anything else is just selfish.
I think he is done. A lot of people had a problem with him making his indecisiveness of him wanting to retire public.
That could be just locker room stuff.
But you wonder if that combined with the whole anthem thing and Antonio thing, like how much is it mental?
If Antonio's not going to run the patterns that need to be run, then get rid of Antonio Brown.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily the case or not. I think...
Well, I'm speculating, but it looks like it to me. We're going to have to take a break. We'll be right back. Today's programming is brought to you by NCTV45 and NC Radio 450, Newcastle's community television station. Mr. Pizza provided a grant for this program. Mr. Pizza, East Washington Street. This program furnished by Sporting Goods, 23 East Washington Street, Newcastle. Call 724-658-2535. These fine businesses provided funding for this program. Gatherings, Town and Country, and On Target.
Welcome back to NCTV45, everybody. Here for our final segment of the Cedars Sports Corner show. We are going to be switching from one Pittsburgh team to another Pittsburgh team to our university football squad program, the Pittsburgh Panthers, which is my pride and joy. But my pride and joy has kind of been letting me down this season. They are 2-4 and have wins against lowly Rice and a very uninspiring win against Youngstown State University.
Now, before you sell the fort, and let's realize a couple things. Pitt had a lot of guys go to the NFL.
That is true. James Conner, Nate Peterman, of course.
They're very young. They had a great game against Penn State. So it might not be ready to sell the fort yet.
Well,
but if they played the Duquesne Dukes, they might lose.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. They had to go to overtime with Youngstown State.
And Duquesne 4-1 playing Robert Morris this weekend.
Yes, that is another big story. Is there anything you want to add about that?
You know what? A convincing win by the Dukes, and they're in the national playoff. for the NCAA. Now, keep in mind, early on, the Duke's one loss came to South Dakota. Now, South Dakota is ranked number 1 and definitely on track for that NCAA tournament. So, could be very interesting there.
Yeah. Well, at least our college programs in Pittsburgh seem to be doing well, except for the Pittsburgh Panthers, of course. Although Pitt Panthers Hockey Club won the national championship last year and expected to repeat again this year.
They raised the banner at the Igloo.
Yeah, absolutely. We still got the Penguins.
And,
although they did take quite a beating the other day with a 10-1 loss.
It's preseason.
Basically.
Yeah.
But either way, what I'd like to say about Narduzzi before we end this show here is he's not on the hot seat. He should not be on the hot seat. And things will get better under Narduzzi. And that's it. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into the Cedars Sports Show here on NCTV45.
And we'll be with our expanded version next week. Funding provided by Four Brothers in downtown Newcastle. A special thanks to the YMCA for caring about the Lawrence County community and providing funding for this program.